There we go. All right, so we're in Psalms 119, and we were looking in Psalms 119, consider mine affliction, deliver me, for I do not forget thy law. Plead my cause, and deliver me. Now, the second deliver me in verse 154 is more of redemption. I think we got that established. Revive me, quicken me, in verse 154. We defined those, but we didn't do much with them after. So what I want to do is move a little bit deeper into that and see what that exactly looks like. I think that we got into 1 Samuel 24 with Saul and David. So I think we got the idea of plead my cause down pretty well. Okay? We can go back to 1 Samuel 25, and we can see a different angle on this. If you look in 1 Samuel chapter 25, and in verse 10, this involves a man called Nabal. And Nabal was a fool, just like his name. And he's out to defy David. He's holding a little personal grudge here and is foolish enough to pursue that with David. And his wife, Abigail, has to plea the cause. Basically, keep Nabal alive. Okay? So here, if you look in 1 Samuel 25, and in verse 10, and Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David? And who's the son of Jesse? There are many servants nowadays who break away, every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not from where they are? He's being facetious here. He's being very facetious. And he's being very stupid. Remember, David, yes, we think of David as a king and a poet, but long before all that, he was a warrior. This is the guy you don't want to have to face on a battlefield. You're going to lose. Okay? I remember an announcer, and I don't remember all these coaches' names, but first you had Tressel, and then the last guy we had before Coach Day. And one of the announcers, when he introduced the game, he says, you realize when you go up against this other coach, he wins 9.5 times out of 10. And I thought, no, I wouldn't want to be in that game. And Nabal doesn't realize it, but that's what he's got here. It wouldn't take much to take him out. And so in verse 12, so David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those things. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the baggage. And one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to greet our master, and he railed on them. And I think this guy's prepare for the worst. Your husband's he's really done it now. You know? All right. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything as long as we went with them, and when we were in the fields. So we're a wall between us both by night and day, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do. For evil is determined against our master, Nabal, who did all the railing, and against all his household, for he is such a worthless fellow that a man cannot speak to him. And not only that, he won't listen. Okay? I don't know if you've ever heard this saying, stupid is as stupid does. That's Nabal. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay? All right, here comes David. They're all girded, ready to go to war. Okay? All right, and let's look in verse 28 through 30. Here is what we mean. Let me back up for a minute. Verse 20, let's do verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hastened and aligned from the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed to the ground and fell at the feet and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thy hearing and hear the words of thine handmaid. All right, that's pleading the cause.